Let us return and establish our archive in our chairs so that we can launch this delightful segment of our meeting. I'm going to start with speakers. Speaker number one, I imagine, is going to provide us with a savory, sapid, sensational speech. We're glad that she's going to be back to the lectern. Our next presenter is working on the art of storytelling to deliver a concise message. She is fond of the topic with an end goal to motivate and empower those around her so they can showcase their very best. The speech titled, "The Power Within," please welcome Toastmaster Bhatka.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There is an ancient Indian legend, and it comes from the deep heart root of India, and the legend goes something like this. Back in the day, so years ago, we're talking ancient, thousands of years ago, everyone that roamed the earth had divinity in them. There was a lot of good, there was goodwill, intent, pure, and a lot of empathy. And they would play joyfully together, and it was a beautiful haven. And over time, it started to diminish. So the gods, or the divinity that were on earth, decided through this legend that they were going to have a council, and they were going to figure out a way to preserve this treasure, this power and resource that makes every individual on earth so very enriched with this goodness. So they came together and said, we've got to preserve this and protect it and make sure that it's not destroyed. And we've got to hide this power, this treasure. And so they all came together and started offering up suggestions. One suggestion was, let's go deep in the ocean and bury this. No one will find this deep in the ocean, and we'll have ocean life to kind of preserve and conserve this. Another member stepped up and said, no, we know the future, we know with our wisdom that these humans and mankind are going to get smart, they'll find it. Let's go to the mountain range. We'll tuck it in deep into a mountain range. There's so many mountains and deep rocks that we can find, and we'll bury it and hide it there so that no one can destroy it or take it away from this earth and the goodness that it has. And that was kind of shot down just because, no, these humans and this mankind in the future, they're going to get smart with their machinery. I mean, some of these humans are going to think it's a sport, and they're going to try to climb these mountains, and maybe they'll come across it, so we can't hide it in the mountains. And then the next suggestion was to bury it deep within the earth. And that recommendation was, if it's deep within the earth, it's going to have land and conservation and trees and mountains and oceans. Nobody's going to find it there. And the wisest stepped up and said, you know what? Instead of all of those great suggestions, I've got an idea. Let's take this resource, this power, and what we'll do is put it where they will never look. They will never find it. And anyone who's looking to destroy it, it will not be done. And what was decided was to plant this power deep within each individual. And that is the power that I'd be speaking of today with you guys. So the power within, according to this legend, is what we all might relate to as, and it may transfer for each of us a little differently, but what we may relate to as our spirit, or our gumption, or what makes us tick, right? It is everything about our resource within and what we hold true to how we believe and how we function on a daily basis and achieve our goals. So that power resides within us, and sometimes it's felt feelings, emotions. It could be your instinct, right? As I mentioned, your gumption or your gut instinct or grit. But the power is the power to believe. Believing in yourself and in what you set out to do. And every one of us, I believe, has a story. And that story is authentic because it is your story. And the journey that you live and the lessons in life that you've experienced allows you to create your story and your journey and your authenticity because you have that never-ending power or that belief within you that you can pull out. And that's a resource, according to that legend years ago, that can never be destroyed. It can't be diminished. It can only be grown and harvested, and it can be nurtured, and it can be passed on. So just like you would believe in yourself, the power of mentorship or believing in somebody else allows that growth to take shape and allows another individual to accomplish what it is that they're looking to do. So with that said, authenticity seems to be in now. I'm not sure if you all have heard of leadership styles, transformational or transactional. Well, the new style in leadership is authenticity. LinkedIn, I read an article recently about LinkedIn and how you showcase your professional profile. And in that LinkedIn recommendation, it stated that start with your authentic story. If you've had a hardship or the way that you grew up, and if you overcame anything, that is that power that brought you to that stage. And that's what you can show and develop. So whether you choose to bring that power out within you or to transfer it to somebody else, just know that it is a power and a resource that lies deep within you that no one can take away and only you can allow to diminish or be given away. And with this quote, I'd like to close and make sure that you all feel empowered in what you carry every day. What lies before you and what lies behind you is nothing in comparison to what lies within you. Thank you.